Dear friends, good morning and namaskar. I, Jaswant Singh Kailas here, welcomes you in our YouTube channel Parad Germinates the Democracy. This channel also having an Hindi version named as Parad Loktantra Ka Ankuran. This channel is an official channel of our newly launched political party Parad. We consider that this political party is the first and only political party of India. We have prepared a vision document of this party, and nowadays we are discussing about contents of some important chapters of this vision document. Now in this episode we are discussing the contents of chapter 16 of the vision document. The title of this chapter is Some Statements, Stands, Concepts and Analysis of the Parad. This chapter has been divided into 7 episodes. In this episode, we are discussing part first of the chapter 16, as that we have requested in previous episode that our party's vision document is purely technical in nature and we are not perfect in speaking English language, so we are directly reading the contents of this chapter like this. In this chapter we are incorporating some such things those are generally not discussed in Indian politics. There are some things which shall also be appeared as full of curiosity, unusual and ridiculous, but these things we have incorporated cleverly and intentionally so that in one side the readers and viewers can be developed curiosity to know the realities and depthness about these things, and in other side after studies them persons can be ready to associate with Parad with missionary zeal. Stand number 1. The nickname of the Parad is Distracting Party. Parad is not a party which promises to the people but make promises from the people. Third, when we talk about the changes, then our mean is to replacement of ruling class from the administration and governance and from epicenters of power. Fourth, in issues related to justice and judicial system, one concept is that for a judicial officer, it is not necessary for a judicial officer that it may be more knowledgeous as compared to be a rationalist with scientific temperament and with judicial mindedness. 5. Nowadays in India, the Constitution of India has been converted into a beautiful book kept in a beautiful almirah. Alas, nowadays it is being burnt and turned off in open daylight. 6. The Indian ruling class is very expert in applying the proverbs. You control the brain, then you can control everything else. And tell a lie 1,000 times, it appears as a truth. 7. That because of all the universities, all research and development centers, all education institutions, all types of media, publication and printing institutions are in control of Indian ruling class, so also it determines all the syllabuses, and as we have mentioned some proverbs as above. Due to these peculiarities, the Indian ruling class is very successful in establishing the ruling interests very easily. 8. An extraordinary characteristics of the Indian ruling class is also that it is a world's most clever and craftily propagandist. Hence, it is very easily successful in to make a mountain to a mole hill and vice versa, and convincing the masses. 9. An extraordinary characteristics of Indian ruling class is also that when it is needed, it creates its own opponent and then control and manage all movements and revolutions those are going in the society. Due to this peculiarity, it very slowly, cleverly, silently kill the movements, revolution, those are happening against this ruling class. Technically, it is called counter revolution. 10. Because of the above mentioned extraordinary characteristics of the Indian ruling class, it is created a situation like in India, the slave is enjoying the slavery and glorifying its slavery. 11. Due to the situation mentioned in above para number 10, in India, no democracy has been cultivated nor true representation has been ensured. 12. When in the year 1947 the ruling class of India captured the political power, then it propagandized a fake non-aligned foreign policy and one in one side from capitalistic countries like USA, etc., by promulgation that through economic, industrial, commercial revolution we are going to make India as developed country too. In second side from socialist communist countries like Soviet Union, etc., by promulgation that through cooperative movements we shall be established socialism in India, where there is no value concept of private ownership on resources, money, property, land. Third, in third side, Indian ruling class from all the international funding banking organizations like World Bank, IMF, etc., got huge amount of loan, resources, technologies, and materials by promulgation that in India there are great opportunities of trade, commerce, infrastructure development, etc. But contrary to that, and against the preamble of the Constitution of India, the ruling class of India imposed the capitalism, crony capitalism, and theocracy upon Indian masses. Friends, with this, we are concluding this first part of the chapter 16. Presently, we are not requesting for subscribing, liking, and sharing our channel, but requesting that please see at least 10 to 15 episodes in a serial manner. After this, we believe that you shall definitely be subscribe, like, and share our channel. Thanks for being with us. Namaskar.